Hi, my name is Shatar. Since my last upload, if you have not checked in on me on Twitch, I worked on my magnus opus, a build that I hoped was going to be able to tank anything. We can get those debuffs on us and then stand in the tentacle. Okay, I'm gonna take double. Ooh. And it was semi-successful at it. The only attack that I felt was untankable was Searing Exarch's barrage attack. While my character was able to tank it, the weak link is the enemy Guardian. Now that Transfusion is gone from the game to give them Soul Eater, making an AG or Spectre survive is not feasible for mostly non-minion character. Luckily for me, when recording the B footage in the background, the AG and Spectre happen to die to Uber Shaper. This is a good showcase of how tank it is without these weak links. Spectre died. Make me lose 1 endurance charge and fortify. The endurance charge lost is from Sublime Vision, as it need to be affected by determination, which comes from the turtle. I have, however, cooked up a new Jugg that also stacks 18 endurance charges, but does not use any minions. It is able to do so without Sublime Vision and Resonating Shrine Belt, which is removed in 3.29, and also does not require you to get Warlord gear for Bound by Destiny. This is due to being able to get more charges on Ring Corrupts. While we don't know how terrible this will be, I hope we can corrupt uniques with the new League mechanic, as if we get 3 outcomes when walling, it will be slightly more powerful than using double corrupt in the temple. So in total, we get 6 endurance charges from rings, getting 1 extra ring from the Nameless Bloodline, 2 endurance charges from Shaper High Staff, 1 endurance charge from the Foulborn Ambush Charge, 2 from Corrupted Warlord Boots or Death's Door, 1 charge from Jugg, 3 charges from the tree, and 3 base charges. The reason why I aim for 18 endurance charges is because this caps the damage reduction from endurance charges at 90%. It goes to 90% due to Jugg's Ascendancy node granting 5% damage reduction per endurance charge instead of the base 4%. In the background, you can see a discharge Jugg somehow dealing a lot of dot damage. Usually discharge has an ailment damage reduction, but the dot is not ignite based. It comes from killing worms and using the overkill damage of Herald of Ash to apply a very large dot. Herald of Ash is a very interesting skill. As hit damage scales the overkill, GG has made it so that Herald of Ash only scales with dot damage sources, such as burning and damage over time, but not with sources of fire damage or even generic damage. So using it as a main damage component makes you walk a balance between getting hit-based damage and dot damage. More info on how the build works can be seen in this video. So to round the video off, I will be using all the info I gathered in Mirage to build another, hopefully more well-rounded Juggernaut. Based on the initial POB, which is linked below, it will have about 3 times the damage of the Hoag Jugg. Could have more, but it's limited to the dot cap. It misses out on some damage reduction, mainly Fortifier from AG and Infused Channeling from Winter Warp. I suspect that losing the AG and Infused Channeling will make the build unable to tank the Eater nuke, as the previous build was just about tanky enough to survive a hard roll, which is 1 million flat damage. But you don't need to tank it, and defense required to do so is extremely overkill for anything else. To be able to tank the Searing Barrage attack, the only feasible defense is Spell Block. I will see if I can stack more of this on this new character. The reason why I'm remaking this Jugg this league is twofold. Discharge got a huge buff. It went from 2-second cooldown to 1-second cooldown. It also got 15% more damage. The second reason is that Herald of Ash had apparently been bugged for a long time, and if the dot damage was too high, it dealt no damage, seemingly avoiding the fix to the dot cap other skills had gotten years ago. This was the case last time I played it. I had to willingly reduce the damage so that I would not hit the cap, making it very hard to build and enjoy. I cannot promise that I will make an update video for how the build progresses, as often I'm too busy progressing the character. I wanted to make a build guide for the previous Jugg, but due to a lot of gear going legacy, it is not possible to make it outside of standard leagues. I like to make videos of builds that uses non-legacy gear. This Jugg, however, uses very basic gear outside of corrupted boots and rings. None of the mechanics it uses have been touched for a long time, so preemptively, I will state that it's safe to assume it will work this league and next. If you want to see how the build progresses, come visit on twitch.tv shatar_, and I can answer any question your heart may contain.